Welcome back to my channel. I have decided to rank all of the Ali Hazelwood books that I've read so far this year. This is not an exhaustive list. It is not all of her published novels, but it is ones that I have seen as more popular, except for Bride, which I know is pretty popular because it just came out fairly recently and a lot of people have read it. I have not read that one, and I did not include it in this list partly because it's not her standard rom-com. It includes like vampires and werewolves, and so I didn't want to include that one because it just didn't fit with the theme, and I didn't think it was fair to rank a book outside of genre with other books of different genre, if that makes any sense. And I do know, I keep saying I'm going to rank Emily Henry. I will. I'm more than halfway through with Happy Place. Once I finish reading that one, I will put a ranking video of the Emily Henry books that I have read. So the list of books that we are going to talk about: Not in Love. That one is her most recent release in June of 2024. And then I have Love Theoretically, The Love Hypothesis, and Love on the Brain. So we're ranking those 4 books. And I do want to know if you guys think I should read any of her other books and then do a more exhaustive list of ranking. Like, should I do Bride? Should I read Check and Mate? Because I also know that that one is more young adult, so it doesn't really fit the theme also, but I could read and do that one. She has some kind of weird Star Wars thing. I don't know what this is. From a Certain Point of View, Star Wars. Maybe that one. Has anybody read that? We've got Loath to Love You, Stuck with You, Under One Roof, Below Zero. I haven't read any of those books. Let me know if you think I should. And then, no. Okay, so one of these books, out of these 4 that I've mentioned, is my top favorite book of the entire year, of every book that I have read. Also, disclaimer, I don't have any of the physical books because I listened to all of these books. I have to sneeze. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm back. I'm alive. It's okay. The first one I read was Love Theoretically, or listened to. Now, I do have to say that the narrator, the audio narrator of Love Theoretically, I did not like her tone. I should look up who narrated these books. Let's see if I can see who narrated these books. Love Theoretically. No, the book. Wow. There's a song by Static Melody. Ali Hazelwood. Okay, here we go. It was narrated by Camilla Islay. Islay? I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that, but Camilla Islay is the narrator of Love Theoretically. And then we're gonna search The Love Hypothesis. Was also Camilla Islay. I thought it was the same person, but I wasn't sure. And then Not in Love, narrated by, oh no, there's a song. That's The Prophecy by Taylor Swift. I don't know how they got Not in Love. Why is it not showing up? Is it not on Spotify yet? Maybe I listened to that one on Audible. Okay. And then we have Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. Why do I have a song? Love on the Brain, Ali Hazelwood. Like, okay, I need to sign in. I need to sign into my Spotify. Oh, Not in Love is right here. That was narrated by Callie Dalton and Jason Clark. That one was dual narration. I forgot about that. I have lots to say. And then Love on the Brain. That was narrated by Marie Bouvet. And I'm probably mispronouncing that as well, but that's how I say it. 3 different female narrators for her 4 books that I've read. I was starting with Love Theoretically because that's the first one I listened to. I remember it taking like half the book to get into. I remember like it just, like I stuck through it because I knew people loved her book so much, but it was like I had to get into it. You know, the humor got me at the very beginning. Like, I found it was humorous, and I think that helped. But it did take like a good 40% for me to feel hooked. I remember, I don't know if it's this one, but often with her books, there's a lot of like, the man is so man, you know, he's so big and he's got big hands and he's so tall and big. And I'm off put by that because it's like, it's not my style. Like, I am not huge on like big, burly, like muscly men, you know, like it's just not my thing. So I get, you know, put off when she does that and just feels a little too much. So she did that a little bit in Love Theoretically. And I don't remember what I initially starred Love Theoretically or even initially starred anything. Everything up to this point this year, and I've given 5 stars, I backtrack all of them to 4 stars because one of these books is a 5-star, not Love Theoretically. So Love Theoretically, I would put probably 4th. No, not 4th, 3rd. I was doing 4 out of 5. 3 out of 4. So Love Theoretically is going to go number 3. And I will say that I did not like the narrator. There were a lot of points where she felt, there's a lot of points where the narrator felt kind of, she speaks in an angry tone. And it's not even necessarily when the character is angry, or at the very least, she takes it over the top. Like it's too much anger. So I'm not a big fan of the narrator. I think that may have affected it a little bit, but overall, the story, the complexity, the nuances, I do like that she writes characters that have some kind of conflict, like the male and female leads. There is a conflict that's generally work related, and the way that she constructs the conflict is almost more interesting than the romance. And for me, like, I look forward to the romance as the main thing. Like, that's the thing I'm most interested in. And with some of her books, it's like the conflict and the things going on are much more, almost more interesting than the romance. And her characters, her main characters are very easy to like. You get drawn into them, like you care about them. They are like fully fleshed people. She does these things very, very well, which for me as a writer, like I struggle with that. I struggle with getting my female main characters to like be interesting and to connect to them. Like I almost don't like a lot of my female leads. And so I want to learn from her on how to do that better. The next book I want to talk about is The Love Hypothesis. That was the second book of hers that I listened to. And I definitely liked this one better than Love Theoretically. So I would put this as number 2 on my list of 4 out of 4. So Love Hypothesis goes number 2. So we have Love Theoretically. Number 3, The Love Hypothesis. No, I'm going to put it here, I think. Number 2. So we have Love Hypothesis, Love Theoretically. 1 and 4 are blank. Okay, so the Love Hypothesis, the conflict between the male and female leads was a lot less. And there was a lot of fake dating in this one, which I found really fun. There's just, you know, it's kind of cheesy. It was a bit over the top, but sometimes that's just fun, you know? Like, what is life if we cannot play? You know, like there was a point where she had to sit on his lap in an auditorium, and it's so fun. It's so fun. My other criticism of Ali Hazelwood is that when the male love interest is, you know, as the reader, that they're very deeply invested or even in love with the main female lead. And the main female lead is like, he hates me. You know, like she thinks it's the complete opposite. Like, well, he must hate me because he doesn't, you know, whatever. I don't want to get too much into that without talking about the other one. But she like takes it too far with the like either not realizing that the male is interested in her or like thinking that he must hate her. That's my criticism. Otherwise, I loved The Love Hypothesis. Again, the humor was fun. The romantic stuff was really good. I liked that. I think I liked the way that the two came together at the end. I like the way that all planned out. Again, though, there was a conflict moment. It wasn't between those two, but it was between somebody in his life. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to spoil it. And her, and the jeopardy. Like there is so much jeopardy to the main character in these conflicts, and it's just so good. It's so good. I love it. I love it. So the next book that I read listened to was Not in Love. So her more recent one. I like literally popped it into my playlist a week after it came out, maybe a little less than that, like immediately. So Not in Love is an audiobook, dual narration. And I have a lot of criticisms with Not in Love. I have so many criticisms with Not in Love. Not in Love was just like, I would even, if I were Ali Hazelwood, I would unpublish. Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's too much. Maybe I'm just, it just wasn't, compared to The Love Hypothesis, compared to Love Theoretically, Not in Love was like, it was not good. It was not good. Obviously number 4, obviously last on the list of Ali Hazelwoods that I've read, but I did not enjoy it. He came on too strong with his attractions to her. Again, the other ones are not dual POV, so we never got the male's point of view in her previous books that I've read. And I think I like it better not having it, because she doesn't write men very realistically. It's like the first time he sees her, he's like, oh my God, she's so beautiful and I have to protect her and take care of her, and I can't stop thinking about like her neck and like her ears, and I just want to touch her, and it's just too strong, too fast. And I don't think that most people fall into attraction with somebody that quickly. I could be wrong. But even men, I don't think fall into attraction that fast. So, number 4, Not in Love. Not a fan. I don't even want to consider it one of her books. It's an Ali Hazelwood that's in the dark, okay? And then the last book, the more recent one, I literally just finished this yesterday, Love on the Brain, 5 stars, like the absolute best book I've read, at least this year, potentially in my entire life. That's how strong I feel about Love on the Brain. I cannot say enough about how well this book was constructed, how detailed and fleshed out the main female character is. Like, she just feels like a real person to me. And the way that Ellie writes this book is there is a little bit of like, you feel like the main character is talking to you, and I really like that. And I didn't realize I liked that. And it's not all the time. There's just snippets of it. What else? The male protagonist, like, you could easily see how he was feeling based on what the main character was seeing, and she didn't see it the way that it really was. Even though as a reader, you know how he really feels, like you can tell, but she wasn't seeing it that way. But it wasn't like the same, like with Love Hypothesis and Love Theoretically, it felt more real, that the main character would not recognize how he truly feels, and that she would mistake it for like he hates her. It just, the way that she constructed it just felt more realistic. It made sense that she would think this guy hated her. Work conflict was just wow. And again, the threat, the jeopardy that the main character was going through, very well done. The plot reveals, the twists, just everything was just really well constructed in this book. I mean, are there better books out there? Almost definitely. I'm sure there are. It's a romantic comedy, but there was some mystery, there was intrigue, there were twists, it was a complex plot. There were other characters that had other motives and other life goals that intersected with hers. I think out of all of her books, she did this one the best, out of the ones that I've read. Again, I do want to read more. Let me know which ones I should read. It's like, as I'm sitting here talking about Love on the Brain the day after I finished it, I'm like, am I just too high on this? Like, I don't know, maybe, but I loved it. Like, I could not get enough of it. This is the other thing too. Every other Ali Hazelwood book has taken me at least 40% to get into it. Page 1, I was hooked. And I found myself thinking about it when I wasn't listening to it. And with her other books, it got to be like that a little bit towards the end, but I mean, not like this one. And this one was just, it was fun. It was interesting. I just really love the way she constructed the main character. I am going to get the physical copy of this book so that I can go through and highlight. And again, I don't like to mark up my books. I don't like to do this, but I need to study the way that she crafted her main character in this one, because I feel like I could take a lot away from what she did with her main character to help make my main characters feel more real and more addicting. And yeah, so this is my ranking of Ali Hazelwood books that I've read, the 4 that I have listened to / read. I would like to read one of these days. I will read one of her books on paperback. But yeah, so number 1, Love on the Brain. Number 2, The Love Hypothesis. Number 3, Love Theoretically. And last is Not in Love. I don't think there's another Ali Hazelwood book that I would rank below it, honestly, even though I haven't read them yet. But that is my ranking. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you some guide as to what to read if you haven't read any of her books yet. Comment below which Ali Hazelwood book you think I should read next. Like this video, subscribe if you're new. And again, Emily Henry's ranking will be coming up, and I'll have a little bit more. Do I have more books? I feel like I have more books. I think I read 5 of her books. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.